Going to show you Milanote, which is really a cross between a website, a cloud system, project management tool, scrapbook and mind mapping system. See how fast it is and how easy it is to use. And you can drag things around the screen very, very easily. So for example, if I look at our WEG portfolio, then we looked at things like digital services and how we kind of compartmentalize and how we kind of prioritize certain things. So, green things for priorities and, that type of thing. So going back to the home part, you can see how you can dive in, and then I can dive in again through IFL Master, for example. Then I can dive in one more time, customer journey, and you can see I'm now 3 layers deep into the system. Coming back up out of that, SASH, for example, Suffolk Association of Secondary Heads. This one here is where we started to really map the story of SASH and what we're trying to achieve with SASH, kind of revamping the whole thing, not from scratch, but from a point of not really having any kind of digital presence. So we looked at what the whole story of SASH was, prioritised the things here in green that are probably most important. That's definitely not anymore, that's not happening. So I just turned it to red. But these were the things that we felt that in the short term we could focus on. And then the amber ones that are already being done by quite a lot of other people, but they could be done at a later date, and some of them just for information. But you get the idea. So but really you can kind of navigate your way around this area and see things in their entirety. Share with other people. You can add editors or share it with a link with other people, a little bit like you would do a Google Drive. And then similarly, you can dive straight into something like this. So this was a video scrapbook kind of mood board that we did, just to pull in and get loads of questions that we wanted to ask. Coming to the SASH Online website that we built quite recently, back in November 2020. The video that we produced was here. So actually the video itself is quite it's about 4 minutes long, and it has some interviews, but it did require quite a lot of information that we would end up boiling down into what it is now. And I think quite often it's very handy to have a tool such as Milanote, which enables you to get that kind of plan going and the brainstorming thing first, but then start putting it into more tangible plans like equipment and some logistics and that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'll just come back out of that. This is the Skit website, okay, and we built this quite recently, so this is it. And on the surface, it's the website, and it's easy to navigate and it looks fine. But under the surface, it's quite powerful. So you've got an events calendar that you can submit from the front end. You can submit a Zoom. There's a networking system here. It's kind of like a clean Facebook. I mean, clean as in no adverts. And through here, the discussions, the invites, the photos, albums, Zoom, etc. Now, I know this is a website, and most people aren't building websites, but the truth is that many projects work in quite a similar way. But often email is it's like a waterfall. Emails will tumble over each other, and they're very vertical or linear, whereas these are much more matrix oriented. Let's go to the Skit architecture. So we took the old site. We said, okay, look, that's the other thing you can do. You can put comments in, and people can reply. Tick things off in the checklist. But we needed to get our text across into the site. So it's just a nice way of compartmentalizing it all. But I will say that it doesn't do everything. And what we did need was a collaborative tool to make sure that lots of other things were getting done. So let's take this one. And we're going to get the editable link. There's a couple of people working on it here. I'm going to copy this link, and I'm going to go into the Trello board that we use, Skit website development, and in this Trello board, and said, okay, well, I've labelled them up as information only or action required, and people's names against them with their priority and that kind of thing. and we can email into this inbox or use the Google integration as well. So if we took, I don't know, let's take for example this nice message from Tom here, who helped me today. I just go into Trello in Gmail, and you can do the same with the Microsoft stuff, and I'm going to put it into the Skip Web Development, and then I'm going to go down to the bottom. I'm going to choose which card first. Actually, I'm going to put it into Snags, and then I'm going to add it in there, so that will pop up in my Trello board over here. May take a minute or two to come through, but that's how this works. And then it has notifications. In fact, really all you have to do is to add an emoji or just a very short sentence. So in here, in the screenshot, you can see the page is psychology, but the URL is physical education. With email, you tend not to have this type of chat. There's always some kind of etiquette or protocol involved. So with this one, sometimes just to confirm something, I literally just put the thumb up and that's it, done. That's quite handy. You can add folders. He's given me a screenshot here, but as far as I'm concerned, I have pretty much looked at all my notifications today, and I think we're up to date. I'm going to add one thing. I'm going to add a snag to the system. Really, I'm just going to ask for check the front end news submission and the comments system. Okay, so the checklist is to remove comments section, and that really, I think it doesn't matter why, but that's what I'm looking to do. You can put a description in, but I don't really need to in this instance, but I know that that's just a simple quick task for me to do. I don't have to do anything particularly special with it. I might just give myself a due date in case I forget, so I'm going to do that by Monday morning. You can put a reminder in here day before. I'll say 10 minutes before because I'll be up in time for that, so I can check that off when it's done. And yeah, that's a pretty handy kind of system. There's a lot of functionality here that you may or may not use at different times, but a lot of it is just as simple as that. Action required, Rob, due date, checklist, straightforward. The other thing that you can do is upload media. So just very easily, everything's drag and drop. So for example, if I wanted to drag a video across from my system, my other screen, I would just drag it in and then it will start uploading. I don't particularly want that in there, so I'm just going to delete it. But as I click through this one here, this Iraq Palladium one, you can play the videos from within the system, or you can, and it's quite useful for monitoring. It's like a great big kind of monitoring wall. So that is the Milanote, Trello and email integration demo, and hopefully you can see that there's some benefit regardless of the project that you are aiming to complete. This one is a really nice email from Aaron, and I sent him a really nice one back. Yeah, I've just done it here, but let's pretend for a moment, okay? Let's reply here, and let's say I didn't particularly like what Aaron had said to me, and I'm feeling a bit stroppy and a bit emotional. It's Friday at 5 p.m, and I'm saying to him, I don't know, hey Aaron, what did you say about my mum? Okay, now the normal thing is hit the enter button or hit the send button. You might save it in your drafts and think, well, I'll come back to it, but then you might not come back to it. And it's one of those things where if you have any message that is likely or could cause a negative emotion or a critical response, do you really want to send it? And you probably don't even know if you've had a glass of wine and it's 5 o'clock on a Friday, if you're drinking wine at that time on a Friday. So you just think to yourself, I'm going to give myself breathing space. It's going to definitely go out on, did we say Friday?
Well, let's definitely not send it then until Monday morning, because we really don't want to be receiving critical emails over the weekend, and you go into the weekend with that kind of misinterpretation, misunderstanding, intensity that you don't want. So I'm just going to hit the Monday morning, and I know that now is scheduled for Monday morning. I'm going to undo it just because I don't actually particularly think that would be a good thing to be sending to Aaron, but I've undone that anyway, so you get the idea.
Fantastic. So how are things? How have you been?
Yeah, things are going okay. I'm just going to, can I share, just seeing if I can share my screen with you?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it's share the desktop, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen with you now.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm just going to take you to my Wander list.
Okay.
And this is what I've been working on. I've been adding speakers to WordPress.
Fantastic. So how far down have you gone?
I added a couple more to the list yesterday when I realised that a couple more had been added to contributor status.
Right.
The ones